my name is Ashley and I am from Quarter Life Crisis Cuisine. Welcome to my first attempt at a YouTube recipe. So basically this idea was born of this. This is a large chocolate penis. My friends thought it would be a perfect going away present when I moved from Massachusetts to Austin, Texas. I have no idea why. I decided that since neither I nor my fiance actually want to eat the chocolate penis, it would best be made into a recipe that I can share with my friends and coworkers. So I'm going to show you today how to turn a large chocolate penis into red velvet brownies for Valentine's Day. Great, here it is in all its glory. It even has hair details. Great. So the recipe I'm using calls for 4 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. I have maybe a 1/4 pound of chocolate penis, and it smells like it's milk chocolate and not bittersweet. So we're gonna have to adapt the recipe just a little bit. So step 1, shave your large chocolate penis into roughly 4 ounces. I don't know whether I should start with the balls or the tip, but well, it's more fun this way. Yeah, that's definitely gonna take a while. My arm's tired. It's starting to melt. It's going to be fun to wash off. Still going with penis grating. Okay, that looks like about enough chocolate, and great, I'm still going to have this much chocolate penis in there. Once you have shaved your large chocolate penis, you will have a bunch of chocolate flakes. Much nicer to deal with and bake with. So, okay, the next part of the recipe says to melt the chocolate with the butter. You are going to need about 1.5 sticks of butter, or 3/4 of a cup. Now, normally I would do this in a double boiler, but the directions call for doing it in the microwave, and I don't really want to stray too far from the recipe. So, microwave the chips or penis shavings until melted with the butter. Whoop. Not quite melted yet. So you want to microwave it in increments of 30 seconds. You don't want to risk burning the chocolate, because that would be a shame to waste all of that large chocolate penis. So the butter is definitely melted, and I'm hoping that the heat from the butter will melt the chocolate so that we don't have to put it in the microwave any longer. Excellent. Fun tip, if you are using chocolate chips or baking chocolate instead of a large chocolate penis, you want to keep an eye on it as you're microwaving it, because it's going to take a little longer than this. And burning the chocolate is a pain in the butt. You waste chocolate. It tastes horrible. Just not a good time all around. So, it'll be nice and uniform and liquidy like this. The next thing is to add the sugar. Now, because we're using milk chocolate penis and not baking chocolate, we can reduce the amount of sugar a little bit. So the recipe calls for 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to do, say, a little bit under a cup of it. So, sugar. And I'm going to eyeball it because I don't feel like turning around and getting my measuring cup right now. Go. Should be good enough. Milk chocolate is pretty sweet without the addition of additional sugar. However, I never took chemistry, so I don't know if this is going to seriously screw up the baking process or not. I'm just thinking that milk chocolate is sweet, and so we don't need quite as much sweetness. We have to stir in 4 large eggs. So the eggs should be room temperature, but because I just decided to do this about 10 minutes ago, mine are still kind of cold. Butter chocolate combination right now isn't too hot, so we probably aren't at risk of cooking the eggs. If your chocolate, butter, sugar mixture is too hot, you want to let it cool down a little bit because you do not want scrambled eggs in your lovely red velvet Valentine's Day chocolate penis creation. I'm going to crack 4 large eggs into my chocolate penis mixture. And you want to mix well after each one. And I'm suddenly regretting not using a bigger bowl. 2, 3. I really hope I didn't get a piece of shell in there. And the last one. And mix it well. So, at this point, I'm going to transfer to a larger bowl because I did not think ahead. Transferring to a bowl, getting all that chocolatey goodness. Awesome. You want a big, gooey mess. Right. Next, you want a 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. 1.5 cups with a 1/2 cup scoop is 3 scoops. We can do math. 3. A little bit, because I don't think those are very even. And, well, we also need a 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, not baking soda, very important. And my teaspoons are dirty, so I'm gonna eyeball it and hope for the best. That looks like about enough. It should be a 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So again, I'm gonna eyeball it. And as you can see, it all kind of floated to the top, so I'm gonna kind of stir it on top before I stir it all in. This is very poor baking practice. I should have mixed together the dry ingredients in a separate bowl and slowly added them to the wet ingredients. Instead, I dumped them all on top because I am an idiot, and now I'm folding them in. You're also going to want a little bit of vanilla extract. This is actually homemade vanilla extract that my friends made for me. 3 vanilla beans inside a bunch of vodka. It's pretty cool. That's really all you need to make your own vanilla extract. And 3 months' time, I think. Awesome. And this recipe also calls for an entire bottle of red food coloring, and there's really no measurements, so I'm not going to use my entire bottle of red food coloring because red food coloring is kind of expensive. It's like $5 or so. I'm just going to pour it in while I'm mixing, and once it turns red, I'll stop. I've now stained my fingers. Awesome. Oh yeah, that's about a little less than half the bottle. That is plenty red. Do not need an entire bottle. Anyway, mix and mix and mix until it's all nice and well mixed. And it will look lovely and red and lumpy, which are not things that you usually associate with a large chocolate penis. What you are going to do is pour it into your prepared baking pan. Cover it with tin foil so that it's easier to pull out later. It's easier to pull out your big chocolate penis brownies. Brownie mix, prepared baking sheet. Then you're just going to want to smooth the batter on the top so that it is even. You don't want really thick brownies on one side and really thin brownies on the other side. And then you're going to put it into the oven at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go do that. And then you wait. And if you are a better chef than me, you will clean your dishes while you wait, which I'm probably not going to do. Put any remaining chocolate penis back into its protective plastic coating. And then store it in your freezer so guests don't ask why you have chocolate balls hanging out in your apartment. When baking with a large chocolate penis, wine is a necessary addition. Extra points if it's from a box. So, your brownies are done when a toothpick inserted into the center comes out just a little bit crumbly. I don't have a toothpick, so that looks about done to me. I also don't have pot mitts, pot holders, just kind of burnt myself. If you want to frost your brownies, I would suggest a cream cheese frosting, because that just tends to go best with red velvet, and it's also apropos to Valentine's Day, also apropos to something made out of a big chocolate penis. Anyway, no matter what you're going to do with it, you're going to need to let it cool. The recipe suggests about 2 hours to let it cool. I probably won't be that patient. This definitely is not cooled all the way, but I'm impatient. So here we go. Notice how using the tin foil means you can pull it out of your pan with no trouble. I have decided that I am going to shape the red velvet brownie penis thing into hearts. This is kind of twofold. Number one, because Valentine's Day, and number two, because if you turn a heart upside down, it kind of looks like balls. Simply press your cookie cutter into the corner of brownies. Burn your freaking fingers because you definitely didn't wait long enough. Ta-da! Brownie shaped like a heart. Or testicles. Delicious, chocolatey, really red. And so, yeah. Bon appetit. Frost this if you feel like it. Thanks everyone for watching my first YouTube video for Quarter Life Crisis Cuisine. If you would like to see more of my ramblings and mediocre recipes and some crazy, almost good food photography, please visit me at www.quarterlifecrisiscuisine.com. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. That's pretty good. It tastes better the more I eat it.
That's what she said.
Shut up!